Alright, I might mess this up and make some mistakes, but I'll do my best to explain a hue shift. So I'm gonna duplicate my avatar. I'm gonna get her FX layer. I'm gonna drag it onto the duplicated avatar. I'm going to find the parameter menu. It was right there. I'm gonna add a float called hue shift. Then I'm gonna go to my FX layer. I'm gonna go into parameter tab. I'm gonna press the plus, float with the exact same name, same capitals, everything. Make sure there's not an extra space at the end in one of them as what we had in our parameters. Go to our layers, create a new layer. This one can really be called whatever, but I'm gonna call it hue shift for simplicity's sake. Make the weight 1. Now you want to make 2 animations. You want hue 0 and hue 1. So technically you could do this on one animation, but I've had that break on me more often than not, so I find it easier to do it this way. It doesn't really take any extra work, so I'm just going to keep doing it this way. So I'm going to drag both of them. Pardon how hard that is to see. I'm just going to drag both of them onto here so that we can edit them. Then we're going to, oh, I forgot to hide the OG. Let me get rid of her. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna go to our animation tab. We're gonna go to hue 0. We're gonna press record. And then for the materials that you want to have a hue shift on, try not to misclick anyway, because otherwise it gets grumpy. You need to make sure color adjust is either on before you press record or turn it on after you press record, because either way, if you click it and unclick it, as you can see, it'll actually count it in there, which you don't want. But then you go to the hue shift of the material that you want, drag it up a bit, drag it back, so it's at 0. And then we've got our other material, hue shift. Oops. Oh, and yeah, I think, yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's right. If you have something where it's put on after, like this won't be a problem unless you have something that's added after, like in Unity, where you need to actually remove the animator controller from the object added in Unity. You don't have to worry about that if that's not, I'm in the wrong one. If it's all added in Blender. All right, now I can fix that. Ooh, I also almost forgot. Make sure that you right click your hue shift and have that little clock. Doesn't matter when you do that, as long as you do it before you upload it. If you don't have that, it won't work when you upload it because it'll still be locked. Because that tells the thing to not lock it. Obviously as well, if you're using Poyomi that doesn't lock, like a 6.0 or whatever, won't be a problem. But if you're using 7 and higher and it's gonna lock and it locks itself in, you need to make sure you have that clock. I was gonna do the bow. Oh, that's right, the tail's another one where I have to remove the animator controller. Obviously though, if you have an animation in there, you're not going to be able to do that. So in that case, you'll have to go to the actual thing and add the property. But either way, it's probably not going to be much of a problem anyway. So we're going here. Another 0. And I want her tank top to do the same. Perfect. So now I have all the things that I want to change. Okay. Then you're going to go click the top diamond here, press Ctrl C in order to copy it. Click 1 frame over, not 1 minute, 1 frame. Sometimes it'll look more like this, but it's just 1 frame over. Control V to paste it. Yep. Then you can go to hue 1, press Control V to paste what you had, and then just change the value of everything to 1. Then Control C to press the top diamond, Control C, 1 frame over, Control V. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to go back to your animator right here, and you want to delete them both. Right click, create state from new blend tree, double click your blend tree, and then click that blend tree. Make sure parameter up here in the top right hand corner is set to the correct float if you have more than one. Add 2 motion fields. The first one will be your hue 0. Your second one will be your hue 1. Now, as long as I haven't messed anything up, which I could have, but as long as I did everything right, this should work. Let's see. We'll go back to scene. We'll press play. And if I drag this over here and go into our parameter layer, we can, there we go. You can see that, because that's just simulating your radial wheel. It works. That can be used, by the way, I've checked, that can, like it has, I use right defaults even though you're not supposed to, or even though VRChat recommends against it, because I haven't had any problems with it, but this hue shift still works with right defaults turned off. So don't worry if you use right defaults turned off. And yeah, I hope that's helpful. If you need anything else, let me know.